That is the perfect weapon that you can find to really round out the aggressive loadout. He's grappling on over to the next one by one now. He sees the brick just being freshly built. The fact that this player hasn't peeked from the top is probably going to be the easy indicator that there's no one else there. Check it. Easy read. He jumps down another layer. He knows. He's on it. Gets the floor first and the cone, and now this player knows that he's in deep trouble here. Tabs jumps in the box. Too quick. He's too clean. Too smooth with the edits right now. The mind games. Take a look at the edit right there. Again, goes for the sidewall. It's a drum gun player. Can he complete the mythic loadout right now? The grappler to the height. Doesn't pause. He's not waiting. Not in the slightest bit. Love the cone play right there. He's going to get stung. He is going to win the shot, though. And now he has to pause here.
Careful, Tabs. He's getting a little too aggressive with the third party now in tow as well. He dropped that big pot from earlier. He's going to continue to get on that wall, and every time he does take it first, he's going to clean it up. But there's an opportunity now, a timing window, before Tabs can get this big pot off for this player to drop in and get in this box, finish the fight before he can heal. That is what he's going to try to do, but he did pick up the big pot, so now 5 seconds. This is the window. It's going to close. Ooze is not fast enough on taking the top. And because of that, Tabs can even respond to what Uzi was going to do. And I think this might be now ill-advised for Uzi to really get into, knowing what we know about what this fight was. The drum gun, the grappler, every basically best solo mythic weapon is in this. And yes, it is, again, something that you want to push for, but at what risk? Maybe it's only a second game. Maybe he doesn't care, though.
This one is, how do you choose? How do you really choose what to pick up right here? He lands another stinger of a shot, and that's going to be another little 30-piece right there, giving him all the more advantage in this fight. The ramp is already set up for the ramp boost. Tabs is looking like he's going to set something up right here. He's got that right camera angle. He's playing it so well. Take a look at Uzi's perspective now, as he is the one on defense right here. The grappler comes out, the height, and that's not his wall either. Tabs is ready to take this one too. Uzi is just slowly but surely losing all the momentum in this battle here. This is not the fight you wanted to take, not with Tabs bouncing back after the big pot here. He's trying to run away desperately now. Down to 700 material left. His opportunities are few and thin. The ultimate low ground now. He can't run any more longer. The RPG pump shot, though, makes it clean. And it's all over. Tabs is back up. That's another elan for him to go to the health pool.
And man, oh man, to explain that last one in a second, he grabbed the gold RPG that he picked up in the last fight and used it to break the build and sneak a pump shotgun shot in. Wow, basically you have no way to know exactly where the shot is going to come from, which side. He tries it again. It doesn't work that time, but it does get him right in the box. Another 100. Tabs doesn't stop. It's not a drum gun. It's a mythic AR, and it still works just the same way. Get in the box and finish off the fight. That's 7 now for Tabs.
He's just control firing. Tap, tap, breaks the ramp, but waits for just enough time for him to get through it, get through the phase. When he knows he's in front, the tracking was too easy. He hears the push. He's a reactive shot right there. It's the 100. Beautiful hold right there. Look how he took all the walls as well. Oh my gosh, Tabs, a cut above the rest here.
He knows all the tricks, Monster. He's been watching your videos, man. He knows all the tricks and tips. The RPG uses. I mean, that was another clinical one that you could do with the RPG. Shoot it on the side and then hold your turbo build on where you want to take the ball, take it and get in. Grab everything in combination with that. Tabs showing how to use the RPG to great effect when you're W keying just like this.
If I could rely on Twitch chat now to tell me who Tabs' duo was during the other weekend qualifiers. I know he's a competitive veteran, but it just slips my mind right now. My gosh, he's just going in here. Another pump shot is just clearly above the cut of the lobby right now. That one doesn't matter. The 37s that are connect in succession. There was 4 in a row. Fire rate too fast to respond to. You can't go toe to toe with it. It's about as bad as going against the drum gun out in the open. Got the momentum here.
How many is he going to end on, man? 24 elims. I mean, sorry, 24 players left, 9 elims. There's an opportunity for a lot more, and when you do things like this, start off the fight with a nice tag. It's actually going to slow down as the third party comes in over the side. He's going to spray this. but that player escapes. And now there's a lot of people in this vicinity. I wonder if he's actually going to be able to get away with some of the stuff that he has been, because he hasn't been fully box fighting. He hasn't been protecting himself all the time. It's mostly been quick fights where he doesn't have to worry about that, but now he does, because there's 4 people looking straight at this.
It's only getting more and more risky to do this kind of stuff that he's doing. It doesn't matter if he ends it that quick. He will be able to get the benefits and continue to roll on. Finds another big pot. That was perfect. As he did get shot there too. So now all of a sudden 6 minis, he's just back in the game. He's back at 200. Little does he know though, the mini map is glowing right now. Looking like a bag of Skittles right there. There are all kinds of players just stacked on top of one another. Tabs has to slow his roll here. He's gonna get bit. We'll see. He doesn't care. He's setting up the Martos Classic off the cone side for a second there. Let's see what he's gonna do. Great cone again. 50 shot. That's a white, and it's just enough to finish up. Smooth with it.
Now 11, and I'm sure he's collected a number of launch pads if he needs to use them later on.
I see 7.
It's, yeah, possibly 7. I can't quite see the quality of my feed, but I don't always trust that number either. Maybe it is trustworthy right now. Regardless, he definitely has enough elimination to make it 7. And again, starting things off strong, almost gets the wall there, but the elevation makes it difficult for him to actually grab that. He's going to go on the side with another player spraying. It might be an easy wall take. He doesn't even care about the wall take. He's just going to get in with this guy's AR because he knew he was low. How he started that whole thing off was a couple of tags. Now up to 12, and I'm pretty sure he's gotten every elim in the past 5 of this entire lobby. We switch over to a different side. There's car kicks that we saw earlier. Jekko as well, who was running by himself, has basically improved his loadout a little bit with some extra small shield potions. Car kicks goes down to K Pasa. And look at this. Everybody hiding in Sweaty Sands who was using the houses, using the hotel, using the parking garage to block off is now in a little trouble as they wait till zone line to move. And because of that, that means everybody in is going to be looking back. But seeing what I'm seeing right now, it looks like they all got free passes in.
Just looking at Jekko here, it looks like he's playing a totally different game. He's going to get eaten alive by Raphael's ammunition right there. He's out the game, out of the running. Let's take a look at what's left in the lobby here. Off in the distance, your star Tabs on height right now. Once again, he has the grappler, so he can set up and prop up on top of any player that he chooses. He has enough launch pads as well to cut across the field any given time. Fall-off damage there from the mythic weapon. Still pretty respectable, 24. Each tap, basically the equivalent of getting hit for a mini shield there. So see now, someone heavy snipes in his direction. It wasn't successful though. I love it. He's going to set up on another base here. He's eating away at his material though. That was a little too soon on that move right there.
I was thinking the same thing, but I think at the same time, he doesn't really care because you know what he's going to keep doing. He's going to keep trying to get into boxes. He's going to keep pressuring just like this. Tries to sneak the RPG in again. It's reminding me of Aspect, the way that he's using this time to time after each other. And he's going to pressure it because he's by himself. That's basically the opportunity to try to make it so the entire lobby looks at you, but with the couple of AR tags that he's already gotten, he's going to try to get now in on the wall, but gets built above, gets the cone on him too. He might slide this in as well. Knows the edit is coming through, and that's when he pulls out the AR. That's when he pulls out the finisher. Because it's a quicker response and an easier response, and you don't have to rely on making sure you hit that first shot. You have everything else to connect. Another player got right on top of him, and quickly, Tabs. Okay. Never mind, there was no player above him. He's not stopping. Another one through out the sky, off the launch pad. 15 now, and 12 total for him to find. It's a possible crazy, crazy game. I mean, it's already been for Taz, but this is ridiculous, Monster.
Gonna jump down, gives up the location right here. He's on to another player right here. These are his walls this time, though. This player is in a dangerous situation. That's the RPG that's gonna connect. Manny, bye-bye. Back to the lobby. Try again. You're just tuning in, guys. This is the Day 2 Open qualifiers. These kind of things can happen just depending on who gets into the lobby. He's proving that he is here to stay. He's trying to make it through to next week. Wants to go against the big boys. Grappler here cut across. Doesn't matter. He has so much material.
normally this would be the time that you like don't move at all in terms of positioning. You just try to see if there's any opportunities, but he literally goes to another hill that we do see goes not in the direction you want to be going for, but it does open up extra sight lines to find, just like he just did, another Elim. And more rocket opportunities, tabs. This is a show of a lifetime. 3 players down below him, and none of them have decided to move yet. Even though zone is going on the other side, there's literally only one person building in that direction. And I think that's a key to these lower point games. It's get ahead of zone, look back, and there will be people who are going late. He has to go right now. I mean, everybody else is already doing it. Maybe he kind of figures it out, but I think he's going to get in trouble now. People looking back, another player that he, okay, all right, respectable.
I think he could have gotten a launch pad there. He didn't get to grab it in time. Guys, you got to appreciate these games right here. We're highlighting players of all calibers. Next week, and as the weeks continue to go on, we'll get back to your standard, kind of what you're used to, textbook, top-of-the-line Fortnite comp. But this still is impressive in its own right. Players of all sorts trying to get their stab at the top here. Otardo kind of hanging out right now. He's going to pop this med kit. He made it to top 10. He's managed to wriggle his way around the lobby, find the picks that matter. He sees another player nearby. He's in the box. Let's see. Does he have the confidence to fully jump into this box right now is the question. I see him aiming the heavy sniper right at him. All right, there he is. He opens it up, hits the 85. Nicely done. Good tracking there. So he's got to make this edit here. He's on the run, ball. He's just going, though. He's fighting on the back of the storm line. He's this guy's worst nightmare. Kind of player that doesn't care if you're in front of him, he's going to hit the shots. I mean, there it is. He's really ramped it up now. He's got 5 elims. Top 4 now.
Tabs is going to be on the mid-ground. Somebody did take it from him, but instantly responds back, and it's been quiet in the last couple of zones here for Tabs. Oh, my goodness, that rocket was so close. But he makes it work regardless. There's pieces to connect. That rocket just knocks him down, and only a brief setback for Tabs as he looks to end this game in the 8th zone. Another RPG pushed through. He's going to continue to block and take heights. This man is unstoppable. And from the beginning, it's been looking that way. With the zone now moving, makes it difficult for anybody to really fight back because they have to continue forward and get away. Another pump shot, rocket try it. Doesn't connect. Gives more space, and Tabs is looking for 19 plus the win right now, looking to break 100 in one game.
When Tabs calls, you got to answer the phone because he's here. He's ringing. He's trying to hit these shots into the box right now. He knows what he's doing with the RPG pump shots. It's only a matter of time before this one's all over unless a miraculous shot can come in, and it's not going to happen. Obama falls victim to Tabs. One of the 19 that game. Such a huge round for him. What a great game for Tabs.
That is ridiculous. I mean, we've seen basically the second game that we broadcasted every single time has been a performance like that. Multiple, almost 20 eliminations every single time. Zeke, that's something that you see in the opens. It also is a sign of somebody who has potential, but I really need to know is if Tabs can actually make it work against the really competent players as we get more and more stacked down the line.
That's right. He's showing quite a bit of mechanical skill there. We saw that in the early game utilizing that grappler. He double coned that player out in Sweaty and just took him down. It was pretty impressive. One thing I'd like to note as well, looking back at kind of yesterday's score, we saw that 216 was the point value that people had to break through to make it into top 100. And right now, Tabs is pushing in, trying to make that triple digits. So he's well on his way. We'll have to see if he can perform, if he can make it all the way through that. Do you guys think, Monster, that performance was pretty telling? Do you think maybe that was just that initial first few games? Because this does tend to happen, The first few games for some players are just outstanding, and then they kind of slow down as they make it into those higher top point value lobbies.
Yeah, I think he's found his spark. I think he's on fire. I think he's well past the proving point here. If that game right there in its own was a telling of what his yesterday was like, I'm sure we'll be seeing him next week. But these games, these stall bouts are not what we're going to see as the weeks continue to go on. So that's why I emphasize, really appreciate the fun kind of lightheartedness of these weekends. These are things that don't get kind of showcased and highlighted too often. So, I mean, you got to appreciate it. Next week, and as things kind of go on, it's going to really ramp up.
That's right. Well, Fortnite fam, we are going to go to a break. When we return, we'll have more games from the FNCS Invitational. Stay tuned. We'll see you guys after this.
Sorry that I haven't really been talking. I know myself and friends are watching. Let me try something. So again, sorry, but in order to do this, I'm gonna need to. I'm gonna need to turn off display capture. Dreambot, sign up for you. Sign up for you. Let's see. You guys will have Nightbot soon. Nightbot will be a moderator. Nightbot.
Welcome back to the FNCS Invitational. I'm your host, Zeke, and joining us for the next set of games, we've got Shy Wager and Sundown. Some of the faves, and of course, my spirit animal being Shy Wager. It's great to have you guys here on the broadcast. How are you guys feeling today after the first few games? Shy Wager, let's start with you.
I mean, for me, I'm just looking at the good vibes the entire community is bringing for this type of format of competition, right? Usually, we see a one-and-done instance of trying to qualify. This time, over 2 days, I'm getting those 2018 Winter Royale vibes where everyone's still trying. They're putting their hearts into this. It's just really heartwarming to see.
I mean, I'm a big fan of it as well, seeing everyone out there, all the viewing parties, people getting involved, watching the top-tier players, kind of just like scoping everyone out, seeing who might be there, and then also seeing the few sharks dropped in. I mean, my big focus as we switch over and look in the leaderboard are going to be those players who we think are going to be able to challenge once they're into the top 600. And there were a lot of familiar names that we saw yesterday, particularly Mage and Castry, the FNCS Duo Week 1 winners, but didn't get into that grand finalist place. But so far in Europe, we really aren't seeing at least any names I'm hyper familiar with. I've seen a little bit of Kaneki and a little bit of Venus, but that's about it, man.
Yeah, we see they're at the top, 190
Of course, like when it comes
points. Oh, go ahead, Shy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the one thing about getting into this 100-point range after the first few games, it's kind of just all about now resistance, right? Everyone you're going to be fighting might be coming from that aspect of having a 15 elimination game as well beforehand. And, like, now, if you just look at the point distribution, if you look at day 2 in total, everyone actually has a goal to hit. They want an even showing of about a 400-point total if they can get up to that high, just for a guaranteed shot, hopefully, because, you know, no one really knows what you need. You just have to try the hardest that you can. And these are the day 2 standings all the way to 30th place. There's barely even movement from these, you know, top 10 slots, 21st to 30th. It's like about a 3-point difference.
Yeah, and I kind of touched on it right before break, but 216 was the, 100th place was 216 points. And that was just yesterday. And already we're seeing someone challenge for 190 and continuing to push that bar farther and farther. So I'm very curious to see, because the other thing we haven't seen is the players we saw yesterday have a repeat performance, right? Where's Cool's Carrot? Where's Mage? Where's Catcher? Where are these players that we saw coming in from yesterday's performance? We haven't quite seen them show up. Do you guys think that maybe they're not quite having the same performance they did yesterday? Do you think maybe they're just, waiting at? What do you guys think is going on here?
Well, we know that it drastically shifts once we get into kind of the later lobbies. Everyone will kind of explode off of the start, but then we start to see the people who are consistently able to get those 25 and 30-point games in kind of the next games, 3 to 6 or so, and then we'll start to really see what the top is going to look like. And again, I want to remind people that the FNCS, the way the invitationals work, a lot of them pre-qualified through by making it to the grand finals, and then there was up to 100 invites per region, but it's going to end up being a significant more than just 100 people go through because of double qualification, and the content creators not necessarily wanting to jump into that shark pool.
That's right. Well, gentlemen, it looks like we are
jump
off
straight
into
into the game,
so head on in.
Sir, it'll be the agency where we always tune into complete tomfoolery from a lot of different parties here, Sundown, and it looks like, just looking at the rainbow of arrows at the bottom right of that mini-map, there is going to be a lot of action that's going to take a lot of time to resolve.
Yeah, so you have to remember, though, that the henchmen will also be a couple of those arrows. Those are generally those, it's actually really hard to tell what color those are, so apologize my actual color blindness, but it's not necessarily quite that many people there, but you can see the outlines on the wall. There is still hanging around at least 4 players right now, and we saw a couple drops. So you see Tana and DS Locks over on one side in an engagement, and then just outside we're going to flip on over to X Tazar, who's on one of those, we call them scavenger routes. Shio, do you want to kind of explain what those are for the people who don't quite know?
Yeah, so whenever new map changes happen, especially for Chapter 2 with the instance and the introduction of Mythic POIs, all these old slots will just have, one-off houses that used to be secondary, places to go to get your loot that seemed really good, now become tertiary or even less, interesting or, loot are, bountiful with a lot of loot. These scavenger spots are one-off houses you can just jump to, one-off chests time and time again, and try to get some type of loot there and just move quickly and fast. Now, it's very good in solos because there's not that much offered, but you can cover a lot of ground. When you do it, you have a lower ammo count as well with a few shields. I think Extra right now actually got a very good instance of having a lot of loot from one of these scavenger loadouts. And being in this position, you get to be a little bit incognito, but then after that, you come into these types of confrontations where it's someone else on a scavenger slot, a scavenger hunt as well for loot. And when they're there, you get into an isolated fight. It's a quick box fight. Usually, Extra over here came out on top, and then you just upgrade to get into more scavenger fights. It's not the big, boom you get from having a drum gun, but you get to stay safer at the cost of less loot.
He hits him with the Take the Elf afterward and also picks up that epic pump shotgun. So a lot of loot actually out there over on the western side of the map. Big chillin', lots of shields coming out. He's honestly set. He should probably start rotating over and seeing what's going on. But now we're going to hop over to Luzi in Slurpy Swamp. You can see he's creeping a little bit, knows an opponent here, but there's plenty of metal to cover him. It seems like they're both aware of the other's presence. First beams come out 34 with the headshot, 17 right after with that gray SMG, following up with the tactic. That was relatively easy for Luzi there against Namis here, or Namis RR. So the controller player not quite coming out on top there. Luzi putting the attack to work, getting control of Slurpee. The other 1v1 on the other side is all in favor of Geo. So they're both now looking to either square off or potentially split these sides. Luzi, though, kind of looks like he's trying to scope him out as we hop on back over to Xtazar, who's just fishing away over there.
Yeah, that's kind of the two similarities of these types of arcs in the competition. One person just going from lake to lake, house to house, still having, I'm going to coin it here, that pyramid formula of, scooping up someone else's loot, being the king of that pyramid. In Slurpee as well, we had two base structures of one-on-one fights, then get elevated to another layer of that pyramid, then someone would be on top of that. Then suddenly, these two bases of a scavenger loadout versus a POI loadout come together, and we have another king of that pyramid. So these types of fights, these types of correlations and relationships will go on through the entire match, and you'll see the effects of it, because although Extra has really good loot right now, that Slurpee team, or the Slurpee solos that are fighting against each other, they're going to have this loot faster and then get to move out faster as well, covering a little bit more of that map at the cost of...
Please comment or use the chat if you want me to